Okay, everybody, it looks like we are on YouTube Live now, as well as live here. And I want to thank all of you for joining us. This is Cindy Kabika, and this is Energized Living Today, presenting the Soul View. And I'm very excited today because we have Ramie Haas, and she is a healer, and I'm going to tell you more about her in just a moment. How we came to know each other was really cool because 2 weeks ago, we had a call and we talked about what was going on with all the shootings, and that I had many people coming and talking to me, many relatives or many people that had passed over, and their relatives were really hurting and wanted me to do something. And if you're very sensitive, then you know what I'm talking about. If you are an empath, then you know what I'm talking about. And you have all of this energy coming and kind of hitting up against you. And so I had to put a bubble around me. And then I wanted to figure out ways that we can help people to heal without taking on their pain. Because many people out there, they're in such pain, and they're still in pain. Of course they are. They lost their loved ones in such a brutal way. And how do you make sense of that? And so what can we do as a community to help these people? And anyways, I put the word out, and Ramie said, I can do that. And she stepped up to the plate. So joining us also besides her is my sidekick, Farris Poole. And Farris, are you there? I can't see you.
Yes, I am.
Okay, there you are. Okay, he disappeared for a moment. Anyways, I am so excited because she is truly a life coach where she works with so many things. She does Reiki, she does crystal healing, she's a hypnotist, a certified yoga teacher, and I'm going to have Ramie tell you a little bit more about herself. So welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. What a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, and I want to welcome everybody that's here. Thank you for being here. And if you are just getting on, if you will, go ahead and say hi in the chat and tell us where you're from. Tell us who you are and where you're from. And of course, a lot of you out there, I know that we know you, but maybe not on YouTube. So again, we want to thank you for joining us today. And, I really want to start off with, Ramie, with this pain that so much of us are feeling because we're empaths, and what we can do about that. And I also, as we're talking about that, I want you to describe to us where you got your training. I mean, why you decided to learn how to heal that.
Okay.
Is that a big question or what?
Well, I'll make it short. Well, I'm an immigrant, and my immigration story is back then, a family paid for us to come here. We waited in Germany after the war. My mother and father were captured in the concentration camp in Germany. And then I was born, and then we waited literally until someone paid our way. So we came to Ellis Island. And so I inherited all that energy of my parents being victimized. And so that was, I didn't even know that was my reason to be a healer, because I had to sift through all my own feelings of why was I so sensitive. I mean, so sensitive. And then being an immigrant, being foreign and not knowing English, all I did was cry. And then as I matured and had a family, and then I drank. I just drank my problems, my feelings away. And then I woke up. I ran to an ashram in Virginia, and I lived there for 6 weeks and studied to be a yoga teacher, meditation teacher. And my life has changed. And I love, 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 love. I light up when I help people. I literally do. So that's how I got into it. And I'm doing it every day in every way I can. And So back to the energy question, and today I had someone call me and tell me a bad thing, and the first reaction that I think we all get is we take it on. We just naturally feel the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So what I recommend and what I teach others is, number one is to ground yourself. Because the monkey mind, as the yogis call it, just can go crazy. So you're in fear, you're in this anxiety, you don't know what to do with it, you feel so bad, it's like you've taken it on yourself. So literally, I ground myself, breathe, and depending where I am and what tool I can use, I have a toolbox of natural tools. I will tap immediately right here on the thymus and go, this is awful, I can feel it. And then I go through that. But then I teach so many other tools. Like I said, it depends where I'm at. It has to be conducive to where I'm at, because I can't tap while I'm driving if I'm listening. No, right. So I can hold my finger. There's, just all kinds of tools. Grounding is very, very beneficial though. And then, when you can take the breath, and then when you realize the pain, this is going to sound counterintuitive, but this is what yoga is. Feel the pain. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know, but I'm sure everyone can relate to, I used to feel the pain and then run from it. I would drink, or I would deny it. So I feel the pain, sit with it. And in my meditation, I'm going to invite people to do that. And I would really like to hear everyone's comments after that, because that is very key to helping us embody the pain. But after we sit with it, it shifts into love.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to, sensitive people like me, who have, I sense both life and death, and have since I've had near-death experiences and multiple multiple opportunities. So I have people that have transitioned come to me, and sometimes I feel them more innate than others. And with this, I was feeling it in a big way, almost like they were, saying, hey, and I could feel them pushing up against me. If you are experiencing something like that, do you immediately start tapping or grounding?
Mm-hmm. I do. I would probably tap first before I ground. It's because for me, I want I always feel better when I tap. I mean, I can't do the whole round, but I notice that I'll go right here, because this right here on the thymus, if you tap, it's all related with grief and fear. So when you get that horrible phone call, when you hear that newscast, you can feel it. I can feel it right now just talking about it, and I'll just go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and then I notice that my central nervous system starts to relax, and then I'll go, oh God, I mean, you know the feeling. I looked up all these shootings, Cindy. We don't have time since Columbine. I mean, I had no idea. There is so many mass shootings. I mean, I thought I could list, but there's too many. So when you get that news, I tap. That's my first reaction. And then I wait for the calm, and then I breathe. It seems like I can't breathe until I tap. It seems like that's my method. Some people I've taught, fear is this finger, the index finger, and if you can hold it, this is traditional Chinese medicine, and bring it to the heart. And take a breath. I can feel the shift, yeah. And then just, if it's safe to close your eyes, just sit here and I can feel my body go down, down, down. So that's one way. The thumb is overwhelmed. So these two fingers are pretty popular. Thumb is overwhelmed. This finger is fear. The middle finger is anger. And
I wouldn't have guessed that one.
right. And the ring finger is sadness, because this is earth element.
Oh.
And then this one is if you're too full of yourself, which I don't think we are. But so you can go to that. Sometimes I don't want to tap because I'm in public, and I'll just do that. Or I'll just tap on the side of my head or right here. And no one's ever come up to me and said, what are you doing? It's
Can you lift your hand a little bit more so everybody can see it when you're doing it, and go ahead and identify them one more time and show them exactly how you're holding on to each of the fingers?
It doesn't matter what hand, but this thumb is overwhelmed. And you bring it to the heart, and if you can, close your eyes, and you will quiet down. This finger here, index finger, is fear, and so bring it to the heart. If you can close your eyes, make sure you're safe. You don't want to do this unless you're safe. The third finger, of course, is anger. The ring finger is sadness. You're sad. I'm sad a lot. I bring it to the heart. And then the pinky finger is full of yourself. So when I don't want to tap, like sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I will tap, but there's times I don't want to. I will just take my finger. And I usually know that it's something that's bothering me. I really don't know what it is, but I don't wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning normally. So I know the subconscious mind is bothered. So I will usually take one of these two fingers or both, or sometimes I'll just hold my whole hand to my heart while I'm in bed, and then just wait to, fall down, and sleep. So that helps. I like it because it's natural, and I don't have to usually get out of bed, and I can go back to sleep.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Because,
yeah.
Especially if I've heard something just before going to bed that something has happened, like I believe it was Ohio, and I can't remember if I was up in the middle of the night or something, and I don't remember what heard it, how I heard it, but I did, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all.
Right. Yeah. So I will. Those are some of the. Now, I'm going to say 90% of the time it works for me. When it does not work for me, I do get up, of course, and then I walk around and I just start tapping, and I go, I know this is fear. I know this is fear. I know this isn't mine. I know this is a collective. I know that we are all reacting because it's so scary. It's a scary, scary world. And what can I do to, blah, 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 what can I do to make it? So I have to own it, that it's my fear, but I also have to own part of it that that somehow I'm connected to the collective. I mean, it is mine, but as a whole, as empaths, we are collecting it.
Yeah.
And what can we do? Well, we can, number one, realize that we're sensitive. Number two, take your natural tools. Number 3, own it. Number 4, sit with it. Number 5, let it go. I always let it go to the universe at the end, because I trust the universe has way more resources than I do, and I totally trust that. It took me so long to trust, and now I'm like, whoa, you can have it.
And I like the own it, because, when this first started happening to me, I didn't want to own it. I wanted to push it away.
Right.
And how many of us want to just push it away? We don't want to feel this. Why are these people coming to me? that have transitioned. What am I going to do about it? What I can't do anything for the people there. There's that owning it is really a hard one to come to. And then when you do, you relax in it. You'll say,
Yeah,
okay.
you own it. Yeah, you're not fighting anymore.
Yeah, you're not fighting it. And
No.
when you fight it and try and push it down and ignore it, that dis-ease turns into disease over time. And people wonder why they have fibromyalgia, why they have widespread pain. Well, why wouldn't you? If you're holding all this stuff inside, it's like holding that beach ball under the water.
Right.
And after a while, something's going to give.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, nobody, at first, that's why the yogis say sit with it. Don't deny it. And people come to you or me or any one of us on this call that are empaths because we're safe.
Mm-hmm.
They just can feel the energy that, I know I can talk to her. I know she's not going to judge me. Yogis also call it holding space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you speak with no judgment and just love. And that's huge. I'm not thinking what I'm going to answer. I'm going to listen to you, and then my heart will speak. Yeah.
Can I add something here?
Yes.
Whenever I hear of any catastrophe like this, there's a part of me that feels like if I take in this fear, this grief, all these emotions, that somehow I'm helping those people.
Yes.
And that makes it harder for me to own what I'm feeling, because I feel like, oh, I'm doing something really good here by feeling all this grief. Maybe not.
I agree with you, Farris, completely. But that took me a while too. So here we are, back to the original feeling, right? We take it in. Here's the difference, though. Now that we're aware that we're taking it in and we feel it,
Mm-hmm.
we have the choice now not to keep swimming in the soup, so to speak, because that's being like an enabler. So once we're aware, God, I'm taking this on. I'm not helping. I'm helping. So we can be the light, but the awareness is key. And I have a toolbox, but then I hope everyone can get a toolbox of their own. I like what I teach because it works for me, and I share it because it works pretty quickly. It's natural. But if you've got a new technique or something else that would help me out, bring it on. I'm ready. The more tools I have, the better, because I like a variety, because not every tool works every single time. But you're absolutely right. Once I'm aware that I'm in it, then it's my job. I feel, okay, feel it, and now reverse it and send the light, send the love.
Yeah. If I go to the emergency room with a broken arm, I don't want the doctor to break his arm.
Right. Yes, that is true. Right.
I want him to understand what I've got going, but then I want him to help, not just jump in there with me.
Right. And
or her.
Right. I think there's a time limit. You can allow yourself the ownership of what you feel. But then the beautiful thing is, oh my God, I used to swim in this for hours, days, years. Poor me. I don't want to do that anymore because I'm just adding to the injury. Right. So now that I'm aware and I'm awakened to the program that I used to run on, I have a choice. you know what, I don't like that. I don't want, you know what, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad, but I feel bad for these people. So how can I help? You know, I'm not there at the scene, but I can send love. I can send light. I can be the vessel. I can be the peace.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's go ahead and, if you will, Ramie, just lead us through the healing of this or your technique, whatever that is, so that each of us can send that, truly send the love and light,
Absolutely.
and to the in to support their bodies. And I would love to know how you do that. And then I know that you also have a healing meditation for all of us.
All right. So I can go into the meditation, or you want me to?
Why don't you help us? Do you have a specific technique that you can teach all of us right now, or practice that you can lead us through that we can use when we get hit with that pain? Because again, if I'm not prepared for it, it feels like whoosh. It's like this. It hits me so hard.
All right. Well, so first things is you receive the bad news, okay? And I want everyone to be aware, and is to start to be aware of what you're feeling. Where are you feeling it? And then you realize, you got hit, okay? Now for me, immediately I do the tapping. I do the finger holding. I also do this technique. I take my thumb and my middle finger, it's called an anchor, and I push delete, 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 delete. Any bad thought that comes in my mind, I just delete, delete, delete. Sometimes that doesn't work, and so sometimes I vision that the thought goes way up in the air, and then it comes down like flowers. And that makes me smile. So that's number 3. Number 4, breath. I use a lot of breath. And then number 5, I love this one. I start toning or chanting. That will shift my energy immediately. Mm-hmm. And I just tone the vowels. Ah, and ah is the heart chakra. Mm-hmm. And that changes. I got bad news last night and today. And I felt the heaviness, and I was driving and I was on the phone, and so I did this, and then after I got off the phone, I just did I did about 10 of them. And I keep doing that until I feel a shift in my body. As a matter of fact, all of these tools, you will feel a shift, a slight change of ease. First you're attacked, you're hit, you're hard, and then if you can start doing that, it just starts to lessen the attack or the initial hit. Yeah. So that's what I do immediately.
So when you do that, the thing that I do is I shield myself. I always like to put a shield around myself. I have a bubble that I'll put around myself so that I don't feel attacked. But mm-hmm. It sounds like what you're saying, before you even shield, you have to clear your own energy before you ever put a shield around you, because otherwise you're holding that all inside that bubble.
Yeah, because right, that's exactly right, because I feel like all of us, I feel it so deeply. Okay, and I mean, so I know immediately I got to do something to shift it, just to deal with it, and then I don't put a shield around myself unless I get around in public places, or if I go to a meeting, or if I go and I can feel the energy is like, oh my goodness, toxic. then I'll put the white bubble around me. But speaking about the initial shock of these killings and shootings, and whatever, I think we feel it all. I mean, sexual abuse, and we feel it.
Yeah.
So I know that. So I have learned to come up with these, at least 5, that I immediately do. So that's what I do. Yeah. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I'll even shake. You know how animals shake? Sometimes I'll just shake it off. So my point is, if you can, and if you are aware, that is key. If you are aware, do something. Do something to help yourself deal with it better.
So first it's you, and then you do the work to help people that have lost someone, because the people that have actually transitioned, and I said this, a couple weeks ago, they're fine. Several of them didn't know what was coming. They didn't even know. They never felt anything because it came so fast. And there was only one person that wished they could have stayed out of all the people. And that was a surprise, because usually they say, I'm fine, but could you do something with my family? And I have conversations. So I'll even say, tell me your favorite memory when that pain comes, just so I can engage in a more relaxed way and not anxiety way. So
right. And so the 5, I call this the 5 easy tools.
The 5
easy tools.
Oh, easy. Okay.
Yeah, easy tools.
Okay.
Now that's my initial reaction. Okay.
Right. Uh-huh.
Now, and then once I get home, then it really hits me. Or if I'm home, you know what I mean? It's like, this is just to ward off that heaviness, that density that we take on. Mm-hmm. And I don't like the heavy feeling, and I feel trapped almost. I feel like them. I feel like I've been shot. Or not so much that I feel shot, but I feel like I'm part of the family. I got the phone call. I'm worried, was my daughter in the building? All that. Mm-hmm. So I tend to get very, very anxious. And so I've learned to just pick one of these tools that will calm me down, stop with the monkey mind. And then when I get home, or when I have finally done whatever, come home, and then it really hits me. Okay. And then I cry usually, and then I'll ground, and then I'll breathe, and then I'll usually do a meditation, and I send light out, and that's what the meditation that I will do next. You'll see the process. It's healing. It's healing. I think. I hope. Yes. It is.
What you said just a moment ago is so key. I want everybody to really let this sink in. It's like you're a family member and you got the call. Well, you did get the call. If you're an empath, if you are sensitive, if you are, highly intuitive, then you did get the call. And we are family. And that's a big statement. I love the way that you said that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. When we're in meditation and people are new to it, I don't think people on this call are, but when we finally get in that space, that's when I remind people, that's that space, that's what connects us. That space is us.
Yeah.
There is no you and you and you. We are one. We really are. We are in that field. And that's when we, as a collective, can send this healing energy out. People just need to be aware that they have that resource. And that's a beautiful resource. So it's our job, such as you and Farris, you're doing this, for years, getting it out there. How can we help you? How can you tap into your own resources? We have them. We are the light. we don't have to go look for it. We are it. We are the light. Unfortunately, we weren't trained to access these tools, and I'm so fortunate to have learned them because of my history. I think everyone here has a history of a lot of pain and sorrow, and then when it comes and hits us in the face now, we still feel it. It doesn't go away, but we don't have to react like we did in the past. Now it's more holistic reaction.
Yeah, not completely taking it on.
Right. And when we don't completely take it on and do it the holistic, natural way, we really are helping the collective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, why don't you go ahead and take us through the meditation?
Absolutely. All right, I invite everyone to close your eyes. And I hope you have a straight back, sitting up tall. And let's roll our shoulders up and then roll them back. And again, up and back. And again, breathe. And now rolling forward. Another one. And then bring your chin down to your chest. And then back up. Right ear to right shoulder. Back. And then left ear to left shoulder. All right, let's take a breath. In, deep belly breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it very, very gently. Release it out through the mouth. And now I want you to travel inside. I want you to feel your feet, feel your hands, feel your heart. Now I want you to visualize or sense or pretend that you have a cord from the left foot, the center of your foot, the ball of your foot, going down, 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 down into the earth. And then the right foot is a cord right in the middle of the sole of your foot, going down, 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 down. Now I want you to anchor your cords. Big, beautiful boulder or a beautiful crystal. Anchor your cord. And now I want you to pause. Feel the energy. Sense the energy. Mother Earth is full of energy. Love. And now I want you to bring that energy out, out, out. Back into the soles of your feet. Behind the knees. Into your belly. Into your chest. Into your heart. And then I want you to imagine the energy rising through your nose, your third eye, and out of the mouth. And now we're in so up, so low. And now please travel back to the heart. Here we hear, thank you too. Keep your visualize your heart. Here, just absolutely beautiful. grateful for your heart. Now, I want you to imagine that it's dusk, and all of us are sitting outside in a circle, noticing the fire in the fireplace. There's rocks, and then there's the fire. Watch the flame. Watch how they do a dance. Watch the color. Now notice how you feel. All of us here are connected. And we're going to go down into our hearts again. And I want you to feel that love, that we have. It's right there. It's always been there. Will always be there. Now what I want you to do is imagine that the people, the victims of all the shootings, are listening to us. Energetic. You can sense their death. The victims, the families, the firefighters, the first responders, the hospital staff, the police, the innocent bystanders. You can visualize all these people who are so unclean. Visualize the shooter. Visualize the shooter's back. And now that we're all gathered here, I want you to look at that light of the fire burning. And I want you to scoop it up and offer it to every single one of us. Feel the pain. You can throw the pain into the fire. And for me, let's honor this pain and watch it burn. We still have the pain, but let's transmute the pain into love and send it out to everyone that I mentioned that's always involved in these shootings. So many. And let's offer this love to the people that are still suffering. And if it feels right, we can place a flame in our heart. Carry a wonderful torch, uniting love, light, and allowing everyone here and there and everywhere to know that there is always this eternal flame that holds our light in the space of being. we have to educate others. So many people don't realize that as all of us together, we can make a difference. We can talk about it. We can share our hurt. And then we can allow the love to come out together. Love, forgiveness, compassion. Let the feeling be now. And coming back to the fire inside of it. Notice how you feel. It's something shift to allow yourself to feel and then release. Really allow yourself to feel in yourself. You now have tools that you can always have your food natural, they're available. And my intention is just to simply guide you into creating your own tool. Find a method, find a way to take on this because we have no choice. We will take it on whether we want to or not. But once we're aware that we have taken on so much pain, that we have tools now to help us sit through it, and then allow yourself the visualization of the power of breath to light up the world before you. And now I want you to imagine that all of these things energetically have received this love from us. And somehow, some way, the universe has its magical way of tapping them on the shoulder and letting them know that it's all good. It's here for us. Trying to force it. So, come back into your body. Notice how you feel. It's something shift. Do you feel good? Feel the love. It's right here. And take your light out into the world every day. And most importantly, behind yourself. It starts with us. Be very, very kind to yourself. And then that kindness will just sleep on your aura and your field, and people notice, and that's how we can help it. Yeah. So please allow yourself to come back gently, slowly opening your eyes. Mhm.
Thank you for that. I have felt this, this pain releasing in my chest. Just this flow of pain coming out of my chest.
Beautiful.
Farris, what were you feeling? He's muted there.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was in YouTube there, checking it. Just lightness. Nothing sudden, just a general lightness.
I would love to know from everybody else what they're feeling. And I do realize that there was a little bit of, was there a sound issue, Farris?
Yeah.
Or was that just on my side? Okay. Yeah, there was a little bit of distortion of sound. And Ramie, that tells me something. As soon as you started and the sound started going haywire, you're very sensitive. I mean, you have a lot of electricity. And when that happens, that's when the shielding comes in, because it'll mess with your sound and your video and everything else. So it didn't start until you started that. So that's not uncommon. For
Yeah.
yeah. See, now your sound is starting to straighten up. It's like, okay. It is. Yeah, very sensitive. I mean, very strong energy.
Yeah.
That's what that is. So if anybody had a distorted sound at all, you still felt it all just like I did. And like I said, I felt like I had almost like, for lack of a better way to say it, like somebody was pulling bullets out of my chest. That's what it felt like. And I'm still feeling a little bit of that now. And so if that happens, if somebody's still feeling some of that pain coming out in that regard, back to thymus thumping.
Yes, please. Yeah, that. Or what I like to do, Cindy, is for you, close your eyes, if you would, please, and go to that area that you feel this charge, okay? And identify a shape. Does it have a shape?
Bullet holes.
Okay. So, does it have a color? The area.
Gray. Yeah, gray.
Okay.
Dark gray and black.
Right. And so it's pretty dense, isn't it?
Mm.
What I want you to do, Cindy, is imagine taking your hands and going to the area. Your hands are just pure love. And pick that area, that gray matter up, the bullet holes, and gather it in your hands. Can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to offer it up to your guides, your angels. Just offer it up and trust that it is dissolving into and gone. And now I want you to go to that area where you had the bullet holes, and I want you to replace that heaviness, that darkness, with whatever you feel called to. Some people will use gold, fairy dust, pink clouds, whatever feels right for you. Please replace that area where you had the bullet holes with something beautiful. You can be whatever you desire, what feels right. And then when you have that done, I want you to seal it. We don't want that energy to leave. And I want you to seal it and let me know when that's complete.
It feels better.
Good.
It's relieving. Yeah.
Good.
I liked the fairy dust. And then I put a poultice on it.
Uh-huh.
Poultice.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. So close your eyes. One more thing. Let's do an ecology check. Where are the bullets gone? Truly gone? Are they anywhere near you, by you? Are they gone?
No, they're gone.
Good. Good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Beautiful. Mm.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so wonderfully healing for us all here. And I just so thank you for taking your time to come here. And you know, especially for those of us who really feel it and we actively have that really strong vision of things that happen. And again, so many of us in this community are like that. And so this has been greatly helpful. And such a pleasure to have you on.
My honor.
If we have any questions, Farris, do we have any questions?
I have one.
Okay.
Before the advent of computers with the keyboard, did people go white out, white out, white out?
He's got to add in with humor.
I don't know, Farris.
I kind of like white out instead of delete, 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 white out.
White out.
I'm sorry, I showed my age there.
That's okay. Humor is welcome.
Very healing. Very, very healing.
If you can't laugh at it, you ain't doing it right.
That's right.
That is so true.
Thank you so much, Ramie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. And I want to thank all of you for being here today. It's been such a pleasure to well, see your names up there. I don't get to see everybody because you don't have your cameras on, but I do see your names up there. So I really appreciate it. And for all of you in YouTube land, I want to thank you for joining us. And please, if you like what we are doing here, please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button and subscribe. We're going to be doing more and more of these calls, and we will let everybody know we're slowly gearing back up again. As many of you know, I've had surgery and just getting myself healthy again. So we're slowly going to start gearing back up again and start doing these on a weekly basis. So any suggestions that you have of either people that you'd like to have on, or if you would like to, have a particular topic, you can also go ahead and put that in. So anyways, we'll let you know more about it. And to all of you out there, I love you and I feel you, and namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, and I send y'all light.